Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that touches the very core of our existence. Why do we fall? Life as we know it is a journey filled with highs and lows, successes and setbacks, victories and defeats. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, why do we fall? What is the purpose behind our failures, our struggles, our moments of despair? Let me start by telling you that falling is not a mistake. Falling is often perceived as a negative experience, something to be avoided or feared. Yet, when we delve deeper into the fabric of life, we begin to understand that falling is not merely an accident or a misstep on the path of success. Instead, it is a fundamental and crucial part of our journey towards growth and purpose. To appreciate the true value of falling, we must first shift our perspective and recognize that every fall carries within it the seeds of potential growth, transformation, and self-discovery. Throughout life, we encounter various challenges, setbacks, and moments of failure that can feel overwhelming. These moments often make us question our abilities, our decisions, and even our self-worth. However, it is precisely in these moments of falling that we are presented with the opportunity to grow beyond our current limitations. When we fall, we are forced to confront our weaknesses, our fears, and our doubts. It is through this confrontation that we gain the clarity and insight needed to evolve into stronger, wiser individuals. Falling serves as a mirror, reflecting back to us the areas of our lives that require attention and improvement. It exposes the gaps in our knowledge, the flaws in our strategies, and the vulnerabilities in our character. In this way, falling is not a sign of failure, but rather an invitation to learn, adapt, and become better. It is a wake-up call that reminds us that we are still on a journey, still in the process of becoming, and that there is always room for growth. Consider the process of learning any new skill or mastering any discipline, whether it is learning to walk, ride a bicycle, or play a musical instrument. The journey is inevitably marked by falls and failures. A child learning to walk will stumble and fall countless times before they are able to take their first steps. With confidence, a musician will hit wrong notes and make mistakes as they practice their craft. These falls are not random accidents. They are integral to the learning process. Each fall teaches a valuable lesson, helps to refine technique, and brings the individual one step closer to mastery. In the broader context of life, falling plays a similar role. It is through our falls that we gain the experience and wisdom needed to navigate the complexities of life. When we fall, we learn about our strengths and weaknesses, about what works and what does not. We discover new ways of thinking, new approaches to problem solving, and new depths of resilience within ourselves. Falling pushes us to expand our comfort zones, to challenge our assumptions, and to explore uncharted territories of our potential. Moreover, falling is a crucial part of our journey toward purpose. Our purpose is not something that is handed to us on a silver platter. It is something that we must discover and cultivate through our experiences. Falling helps to clarify our purpose by stripping away the superficial layers of ego, pride, and fear that often cloud our judgment. When we fall, we are humbled, and in that humility, we are better able to connect with our true selves and our deeper calling. Falling also serves as a reminder of our humanity. It reminds us that we are not infallible, that we are not immune to mistakes, and that we are still in the process of becoming. This awareness of our humanity fosters compassion, both for ourselves and for others. When we recognize that falling is a natural part of the human experience, we become more forgiving of our own shortcomings and more empathetic toward the struggles of others. We begin to see falling not as a source of shame, but as a shared experience that unites us all on the journey of life. Furthermore, falling teaches us the value of perseverance and resilience. It is easy to continue when the path is smooth and the journey is easy. But it is the falls that test our true commitment to our goals and our purpose. Each fall presents us with a choice to give up or to rise again. In choosing to rise, we demonstrate our determination, our courage, and our faith in the journey. It is through this process of falling and rising that we build the inner strength needed to fulfill our purpose. Falling also serves as a powerful tool for self-reflection and introspection. When we fall, we are given the opportunity to pause, to reflect on our actions and decisions, and to reassess our direction. This reflection often leads to new insights and revelations that guide us toward greater alignment with our true purpose. In this way, falling can be seen as a course correction, steering us back on track when we have strayed from our intended path. Falling is an essential part of the journey of life. It is through falling that we grow, learn, and discover our true purpose. By embracing our falls, we open ourselves up to the transformative power of failure and the profound lessons it holds. Rather than seeing falling as a setback, we can choose to see it as a stepping stone on the path to greater growth, wisdom, and fulfillment. Failure is often perceived as the antithesis of success, a sign that we have somehow missed the mark or fallen short of our goals. However, when we examine the lives of those who have achieved great things, we see a different narrative emerge, one where failure is not only a part of the journey, but an essential component to understand the role of failure in success. We must first recognize that failure is not a final destination, is a stepping stone, is simply an indication that we have encountered a challenge or obstacle that requires us to grow, adapt, and refine our approach. In this sense, failure is not an end, but a beginning, a starting point for deeper understanding and more effective action. Each failure brings with it an opportunity to reassess our strategies, to identify what is not working, and to discover new paths that we may not have considered before. Failure teaches us in ways that success cannot. When we succeed, it is easy to attribute our success to our current methods and mindset. We may become complacent, believing that we have found the right way and that no further change or improvement is necessary. However, failure disrupts this complacency. It forces us to confront our limitations and to acknowledge that there are gaps in our knowledge, skills, or strategies. It is through this confrontation that we gain the clarity needed to improve and evolve. Consider the stories of some of the most successful individuals in history, people like Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before successfully inventing the light bulb, or Walt Disney, who faced multiple rejections and financial failures before creating his iconic entertainment empire. These individuals did not allow failure to define them. Instead, they used each setback as a learning experience, as a stepping stone on the path to their ultimate success. They understood that failure is not a sign that they were on the wrong path, but rather a sign that they were on a path that required perseverance, creativity, and continuous improvement. Failure also fosters resilience, a critical quality for anyone seeking long-term success. The road to achieving significant goals is rarely smooth. It is often fraught with obstacles, disappointments, and unexpected challenges. Those who achieve success are not necessarily those who avoid failure, but those who learn to navigate it with grace and determination. Each failure strengthens their resolve, teaching them to keep moving forward despite setbacks. This resilience becomes a key ingredient in their eventual success, enabling them to persist where others might give up. Moreover, failure cultivates a mindset of growth and innovation. When we encounter failure, we are often pushed to think outside the box, to explore new ideas, and to experiment with different approaches. This mindset of innovation is crucial in a world that is constantly changing and evolving. It is through failure that we learn to be adaptable, to embrace change, and to continually seek better ways of doing things. Without the pressure of failure, we might never feel the urgency to innovate, and as a result, we might miss out on opportunities to achieve greater success. In addition to fostering resilience and innovation, failure also teaches humility. Success, especially when achieved too easily or too quickly, can lead to arrogance or a false sense of invincibility. Failure, on the other hand, humbles us. It reminds us that we are human, that we have limitations, and that there is always more to learn. This humility is a powerful asset in the journey to success, as it keeps us open to new ideas, receptive to feedback, and willing to seek help when needed. It helps us to build stronger relationships, to lead with empathy, and to approach challenges with a balanced perspective. Furthermore, failure provides us with the opportunity to build and strengthen our character. It is easy to be confident and positive when everything is going well, but it is in the face of failure that our true character is revealed. How we respond to failure, whether we choose to give up or to rise again, says more about who we are than our successes ever could. Failure builds courage, perseverance, and the ability to maintain hope even in difficult circumstances. These qualities are not only essential for achieving success, but also for leading a fulfilling and meaningful life. Failure also helps us to clarify our goals and refine our vision. Sometimes we pursue goals that are not truly aligned with our passions or purpose, and failure serves as a signal that we need to reassess our direction. It encourages us to dig deeper, to ask ourselves why we are pursuing a particular path, and to make adjustments if necessary. This process of reflection and refinement is crucial in ensuring that the success we ultimately achieve is meaningful and fulfilling, rather than empty or short-lived. The role of failure in success cannot be overstated. It is through failure that we learn, grow, and become better equipped to achieve our goals. Each failure is a stepping stone, bringing us one step closer to the success we seek. Rather than fearing failure, we should embrace it as a vital part of our journey, for it is in the crucible of failure that the seeds of success are sown, nurtured, and eventually brought to fruition. Adversity is often seen as an unwelcome intruder in the narrative of our lives, something to be avoided or endured with reluctance. However, when we take a closer look at the role adversity plays, especially in the context of character development, we begin to see it in a different light. Adversity is not merely a series of unfortunate events or trials. It is a powerful force that shapes and refines our character, making us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It is through adversity that we discover the depths of our strength and the true nature of our character. Character is not developed in times of comfort and ease. When everything is going well, when we are successful and unchallenged, our character remains largely untested. It is easy to be patient, kind, and optimistic when life is smooth. However, it is in the face of adversity that our true character is revealed and refined. Adversity strips away the superficial layers of our personality, exposing the core of who we are, and providing us with the opportunity to grow in ways we may never have imagined. When we encounter adversity, we are often forced to confront parts of ourselves that we might otherwise ignore. Adversity challenges our patience, tests our integrity, and demands courage in the face of fear. These challenges are not meant to break us, but to build us. Through adversity, we learn the value of perseverance, the importance of maintaining our principles even when it is difficult, and the strength to continue moving forward despite the obstacles in our path. Each challenge we face and overcome adds a new layer to our character, making us more resilient and better equipped to handle future difficulties. Adversity also teaches us humility. When we are faced with situations that are beyond our control, we are reminded of our limitations and the fact that we do not have all the answers. This realization can be humbling, but it is also an essential part of character development. Humility opens us up to learning, growth, and the recognition that we are part of a larger tapestry of life. It helps us to be more empathetic and compassionate toward others who are also facing challenges, fostering a sense of connection and community. Moreover, adversity strengthens our resolve and determination. When we are pushed to our limits, we discover reserves of strength and perseverance that we may not have known we possessed. It is easy to give up when things get tough, but adversity challenges us to dig deeper, to find new sources of motivation, and to keep going even when the odds seem insurmountable. This process of pushing through adversity not only builds physical and mental endurance, but also fortifies our spirit. It teaches us that we are capable of more than we realize, and that with each challenge we overcome, we become stronger and more resilient. Wisdom, too, is a product of adversity. Life's most profound lessons are often learned not in the classroom, but in the crucible of experience. Adversity forces us to reflect, to question, and to seek understanding in the midst of chaos. It is through these reflections that we gain insights into ourselves, others, and the world around us. We learn to see things from different perspectives, to appreciate the complexity of life, and to recognize the value of patience, persistence, and hope. The wisdom gained through adversity is not just intellectual knowledge. It is a deep, lived understanding that informs our decisions and actions in all areas of life. Adversity also plays a crucial role in teaching us gratitude. When we experience hardship, we often gain a greater appreciation for the things we may have taken for granted. The simple joys of life, health, family, friendship, and peace become more precious in the face of adversity. This sense of gratitude not only enhances our overall well-being, but also enriches our character, making us more appreciative, generous, and aware of the blessings in our lives. Furthermore, adversity fosters resilience, the ability to bounce back from difficulties and continue moving forward. Resilience is not just about surviving adversity, it is about thriving in spite of it. It is about taking the lessons learned from our challenges and using them to build a stronger, more capable version of ourselves. Resilience is a key component of a well-developed character, enabling us to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life with grace and confidence. It is through resilience that we turn adversity into an opportunity for growth, rather than a source of defeat. Adversity also deepens our sense of purpose. When we face significant challenges, we are often forced to reassess our goals, values, and priorities. This process of reassessment can lead to a clearer understanding of what truly matters in life and what we are willing to fight for. It helps us to align our actions with our values and to pursue our goals with greater conviction and passion. Adversity, therefore, not only shapes our character, but also clarifies our purpose, guiding us toward a more meaningful and fulfilling life. While adversity is often seen as something to be avoided, it is, in fact, one of the most powerful tools for character development. It is through adversity that we grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It challenges us to rise above our circumstances, to develop qualities such as humility, perseverance, and gratitude, and to build a character that can withstand the tests of time. Adversity, in shaping and refining our character, ultimately prepares us to meet life's challenges with confidence and grace, allowing us to become the best versions of ourselves. The process of learning is often romanticized as a journey of discovery, creativity, and growth. However, what is frequently overlooked is the essential role that failure plays in this journey. Each fall, each setback, each mistake we make is not merely a detour from the path of success, but a vital component of it. Embracing the process of learning means recognizing that failure is not just an inevitable part of this process, but a necessary one. It is through these moments of falling that we gain the opportunity to learn, adapt, and ultimately improve, moving closer to mastering any skill or achieving any goal we set for ourselves. When we embark on the journey to learn something new or to achieve a significant goal, we often start with high expectations and a vision of smooth progress. However, the reality is that learning, especially at a deep and meaningful level, is rarely a linear or straightforward process. It involves trial and error, experimentation, and inevitably failure. These setbacks are not signs that we are on the wrong path, but rather indicators that we are engaging with the process in a way that is deepening our understanding and strengthening our abilities. Each time we fall, we are presented with an invaluable opportunity to gain insights that we could not have obtained through success alone. When we succeed without encountering any obstacles, we may assume that our approach is flawless and that we have nothing left to learn. However, failure forces us to reevaluate our strategies, to question our assumptions, and to seek out new methods. It is in this process of reevaluation and adaptation that true learning occurs. We are compelled to dig deeper, to think more critically, and to explore alternative solutions that we might not have considered otherwise. In this sense, falling is a catalyst for growth. It pushes us beyond our comfort zones, challenging us to develop new skills, acquire new knowledge, and refine our techniques. For instance, consider the process of learning a musical instrument. A novice musician will inevitably hit wrong notes, struggle with rhythm, and find certain techniques difficult to master. These mistakes, rather than being a source of frustration, are actually essential to the learning process. Each wrong note provides feedback, highlighting areas that need improvement and guiding the musician toward greater mastery. In any field of endeavor, whether it be athletics, academics, entrepreneurship, or personal development, failure serves as a form of feedback. It tells us where we are falling short, where our understanding is incomplete, and where our skills need further refinement. By paying attention to this feedback and using it to make adjustments, we become more skilled, more knowledgeable, and more capable. This process of continuous learning and adaptation is what ultimately leads to success. Moreover, embracing the process of learning through failure builds resilience and perseverance. When we understand that falling is a natural part of the journey, we are less likely to be discouraged by setbacks. Instead of seeing failure as a reason to give up, we see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. This shift in perspective empowers us to persist in the face of challenges, knowing that each fall brings us one step closer to our goals. The resilience we develop through this process is not only crucial for achieving specific objectives, but also for navigating the broader challenges of life. The process of learning through failure also teaches us the value of patience and persistence. Mastery of any skill or achievement of any significant goal takes time, effort, and repeated attempts. There are no shortcuts to true expertise or success. It is something that must be earned through diligent practice, reflection, and adaptation. By embracing the falls and setbacks as part of this process, we develop the patience to keep going, even when progress is slow or difficult. We learn to trust the process, understanding that each challenge we overcome builds the foundation for future success. Furthermore, the ability to learn from failure is a hallmark of a growth mindset, the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Those with a growth mindset see challenges and failures as opportunities to grow, rather than as threats to their self-worth. This mindset is crucial for achieving long-term success, as it encourages continuous learning and improvement. When we embrace the process of learning, we are cultivating this growth mindset, which in turn fuels our motivation, creativity, and innovation. In addition to fostering a growth mindset, embracing the process of learning through failure also deepens our sense of self-awareness. Each fall provides us with a mirror reflecting our strengths and weaknesses, our fears and motivations. By reflecting on our failures, we gain a clearer understanding of ourselves, our habits, our thought patterns, and our emotional responses. This self-awareness is essential for personal growth, as it enables us to make more informed decisions, to manage our emotions more effectively, and to align our actions with our goals and values. Embracing the process of learning also cultivates a sense of humility. When we acknowledge that failure is a natural and necessary part of growth, we become more open to feedback, more willing to ask for help, and more accepting of our imperfections. This humility not only enhances our learning, but also strengthens our relationships with others. We become better collaborators, better listeners, and more supportive mentors, recognizing that everyone is on their own learning journey and that failure is a shared human experience. The process of learning is inextricably linked with the experience of failure. Each fall is not a setback, but an opportunity to learn, adapt, and improve. By embracing this process, we develop the skills, knowledge, and resilience needed to achieve our goals and to master the challenges we face. We cultivate a growth mindset, deepen our self-awareness, and build the humility necessary for continuous growth. Ultimately, it is through the process of learning through the falls and failures along the way that we move closer to becoming the best version of ourselves and to achieving the success we seek. In the tapestry of life, the challenges and struggles we face are not random occurrences or mere accidents of fate. Instead, they are woven into our journey with a purpose that transcends our immediate understanding. There is a divine design behind our struggles, a greater plan that uses these challenges to prepare us for our destiny and to help us fulfill our purpose. To see our struggles in this light is to recognize that we are not simply enduring hardship for hardship's sake, but rather we are being shaped and refined by a process that is ultimately guiding us toward the fulfillment of our potential. When we encounter difficulties, it is natural to question why they are happening. We may wonder what we did wrong or why we are being tested in such a way. Yet, when we step back and view our lives from a broader perspective, we begin to see that these challenges are not arbitrary. They are carefully placed on our path to mold us, to teach us, and to equip us with the qualities and skills we need to fulfill the greater purpose for which we are destined. Consider the story of Joseph in ancient texts, who was sold into slavery by his brothers, unjustly imprisoned, and faced numerous trials before eventually rising to a position of great power and influence. At each stage of his journey, it might have seemed that life was dealing him a series of unfortunate blows, but in hindsight, it becomes clear that each challenge was a necessary step in his preparation. The trials Joseph faced were not just obstacles, they were divine instruments shaping his character, sharpening his wisdom, and positioning him to fulfill his ultimate purpose. In our own lives, the struggles we face often serve a similar function. They are not just random events meant to cause suffering, they are purposeful experiences that contribute to our growth and development. Every challenge we encounter is an opportunity for us to build the resilience, patience, and strength of character needed to carry out our unique destiny. These experiences teach us lessons that we might not have learned in any other way, and they often reveal qualities within us that we didn't even know we possessed. This divine design in challenges also works to align us with our true purpose. Sometimes we find ourselves pursuing paths that are not fully aligned with who we are meant to be or what we are meant to do. The struggles we face can act as course corrections, steering us away from distractions and back toward our true calling. They force us to reevaluate our priorities, to let go of what is not serving us, and to focus on what truly matters. In this way, challenges can be seen as divine guidance, helping us to stay on track and to move closer to fulfilling our purpose. Moreover, the difficulties we encounter often bring out the best in us. In the midst of adversity, we discover strengths we didn't know we had and develop abilities we might never have cultivated otherwise. It is in these moments of struggle that we are stretched beyond our comfort zones and compelled to rise to new levels of capability. The challenges refine us, just as gold is refined in the fire. They burn away the impurities of doubt, fear, and complacency, leaving us with a purer, stronger, and more focused sense of self. These struggles also deepen our empathy and compassion. When we experience hardship, we gain a greater understanding of the pain and challenges that others face. This understanding enables us to connect with others on a deeper level, to offer support, and to fulfill our purpose in ways that contribute to the well-being of those around us. Our struggles often equip us to be of service to others, to share the lessons we have learned, and to guide others through similar difficulties. In this way, our challenges not only prepare us for our destiny, but also enable us to help others fulfill theirs. The divine design behind our struggles also fosters trust and faith. When we recognize that our challenges are part of a greater plan, we begin to trust the process of life more deeply. We understand that even when things seem difficult or uncertain, there is a purpose at work that is leading us toward our ultimate good. This trust allows us to face challenges with a sense of peace and confidence, knowing that we are being guided and supported every step of the way. It helps us to surrender our fears and anxieties, to embrace the lessons that each challenge offers, and to move forward with faith in our journey. Furthermore, the struggles we face often serve as preparation for the responsibilities and opportunities that lie ahead. Just as an athlete must train rigorously before competing in a major event, we too must undergo preparation before we can fully step into our destiny. The challenges we face are part of this preparation, strengthening us, teaching us, and equipping us with the skills and mindset needed to succeed. When we view our struggles as preparation rather than punishment, we begin to appreciate the value of the process and to approach each challenge with a sense of purpose and determination. Ultimately, the divine design in our challenges is about transformation. It is about becoming the person we were created to be and fulfilling the purpose for which we were born. Every struggle, every setback, and every challenge is a stepping stone on the path to this fulfillment. They are the tools through which we are shaped, refined, and prepared to carry out our unique mission in life. In embracing this divine design, we move beyond merely enduring our struggles to actively engaging with them as opportunities for growth and development. We learn to see each challenge as a gift, a part of the greater plan that is leading us toward our destiny. And in doing so, we align ourselves more fully with our purpose, allowing the divine design to unfold in our lives in ways that are truly transformative and fulfilling. The true measure of a person is not found in how many times they fall, but in how many times they rise after each fall, and more importantly, in how they rise stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Life is not a smooth, unbroken path. It is filled with twists, turns, and obstacles that inevitably cause us to stumble. Yet, it is in the act of rising again that we demonstrate our true strength and character. Each time we get back up after a fall, we are not just returning to where we were, we are moving forward with greater understanding, fortified by the lessons that our struggles have taught us. Falling is an inevitable part of the human experience. No one is immune to setbacks, failures, or disappointments. However, it is not the fall itself that defines us, but our response to it. When we rise after a fall, we are making a conscious choice to not let that fall be the end of our story. We are choosing to continue our journey to pursue our goals and to fulfill our purpose despite the obstacles we have encountered. This choice to rise again is a powerful act of resilience, one that speaks volumes about our inner strength and determination. Each fall offers us a unique opportunity to gain new insights and perspectives. When we face challenges and setbacks, we are often pushed to re-examine our approaches, to question our assumptions, and to find new ways of overcoming the obstacles in our path. This process of reflection and adaptation is crucial for growth. As we rise from each fall, we do so with a deeper understanding of ourselves, our goals, and the world around us. We become more strategic in our actions, more thoughtful in our decisions, and more resilient in the face of future challenges. Rising stronger after a fall also involves embracing the wisdom that comes from adversity. Every fall teaches us something valuable, whether it's a lesson in humility, a reminder of our own resilience, or a deeper understanding of what truly matters in life. When we rise with this newfound wisdom, we are better equipped to navigate the challenges that lie ahead. We become more attuned to the nuances of our journey, more aware of the potential pitfalls, and more prepared to handle them with grace and confidence. This wisdom becomes a guiding force, helping us to make better choices and to avoid the mistakes of the past. Moreover, each time we rise after a fall, we build our confidence and self-belief. The act of rising itself is a testament to our ability to overcome difficulties and to keep moving forward, no matter how tough the journey may be. This growing confidence is not just about believing in our ability to succeed. It is about trusting in our capacity to recover, to learn, and to grow from every experience. With each rise, we strengthen our belief in our own resilience, knowing that no matter what comes our way, we have the inner resources to rise again. The process of rising also cultivates a sense of purpose and direction. When we fall, it can be easy to lose sight of our goals and to feel discouraged. However, when we choose to rise, we reaffirm our commitment to our purpose. We remind ourselves why we started the journey in the first place and what we are working toward. This renewed sense of purpose becomes a powerful motivator, driving us to persevere even in the face of adversity. It keeps us focused on the bigger picture, helping us to navigate the challenges with determination and resolve. Rising stronger after each fall also strengthens our relationships and our connection to others. When we rise, we do so not only for ourselves, but often for those who are watching us, learning from us, and depending on us. Our resilience can inspire others to rise in their own lives, showing them that it is possible to overcome difficulties and to continue moving forward. This shared experience of rising after a fall fosters a sense of community and solidarity as we recognize that we are not alone in our struggles. We are all part of a larger human experience, one in which we support and uplift each other as we navigate the challenges of life. Furthermore, each time we rise after a fall, we contribute to our legacy. Our lives are not defined by the moments of failure, but by how we responded to them. The stories of those who have inspired us the most are not tales of unbroken success, but of perseverance in the face of adversity. These stories remind us that greatness is not about never falling it's about always rising. No matter how many times we are knocked down, when we rise after a fall, we are writing our own story of resilience, one that can inspire and encourage others for generations to come. Rising stronger also involves embracing the changes that each fall brings. Every time we fall, we are changed in some way, whether through the lessons we learn, the strength we gain, or the new perspectives we acquire. These changes are not something to be feared or resisted. They are an integral part of our growth. When we rise, we do so as a transformed individual, one who is better equipped to handle the complexities of life. This transformation is a sign of our growth, our adaptability, and our willingness to evolve in the face of challenges. The true measure of a person is not found in the number of times they fall, but in their ability to rise each time stronger and wiser than before. Life's challenges are not meant to break us, but to build us, to help us discover the depths of our strength, and to prepare us for the journey ahead. Each fall is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to rise with renewed purpose and determination. It is through this process of falling and rising that we become the person we are meant to be, capable of achieving our goals and fulfilling our purpose with grace, resilience, and unwavering resolve. In life, falling is inevitable, but it is not the fall that defines us, it is how we rise. Each fall is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient, preparing us for the greater purpose and destiny that lies ahead. Through adversity, we discover our true character, develop deeper understanding, and build the strength to continue our journey. Embracing our struggles as part of a divine design, we rise not just to regain our footing, but to move forward with renewed purpose and unwavering determination. In rising after each fall, we fulfill our potential and leave a lasting legacy.